past the first down marker. I challenged the play, and apparently the game thought I was challenging if Brandon Jacobs was in fact down. You got that, right? The game thought that on 4th and inches, I wasn't challenging the spot of the ball, but that the running back was down or not. That's fucking pointless! The play was blown dead. It doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form to argue if the back was down or not, because the play was blown dead. For the love of God, if the play ends on the back hitting the ground, why would I argue that he didn't touch the ground? The challenge system is severely broken and either needs to be completely overhauled or, if it's too complicated to implement properly, removed completely from the game. If you cannot challenge certain aspects of a play, then you remove a level of strategy from the game. Alright, play calling outside of game flow is exactly like every other Madden game, except it hides all of the options behind a difficult to navigate menu. To get to the plays you actually want, other than the batshit insane suggestions Ask Madden gives you, you have to press the B button when in the menu, and then you have to choose either a play by formation, a play by type, or a shitload of other worthless options, including Super Sim, which is just a complicated clusterfuck that's not even worth you touching unless you want to be bored and confused. So after pressing B, you get to choose play by type or play by formation. That is a minimum of 2 button presses and a maximum of 3 button presses to get to a playbook. So far, in order to get to a playbook, you've got a maximum of 4 button presses in your way before you're even able to look at the plays available to you. All of this on a 45-second timer. Do you see my problem now, John Funk of Escapist Magazine? Do you understand why you're so goddamn wrong when you say that Madden 11 is streamlined? Adding additional button presses does not make Madden 11 streamlined. It hides everything in a menu. This is not streamlining. This is horrible UI design. God, there are so many other problems with this game. The celebrations, good God, the afterplay celebrations. Could they fucking stop, please? Clint Sintim just stopped a short pass, and there are 2 players on the screen celebrating like they just returned an interception for a touchdown. He didn't stop a touchdown run. He stopped a short pass. Hell, he didn't even stop the short pass. The short pass worked. Philly got 5 yards, and yet they're still celebrating. Real players don't do this. Stopping a short pass for 5-yard gains on 2nd down does not, has never, and will never cause a celebration on the field, ever. While we're on the subject of watching the players do shit, why do I have to sit through 2 replays of the play that just happened before I can hit X and choose a play? This forced watching of a replay really slows down the game. I mean significantly. Why can't I just hit X, get to the playbook, and move the fuck on? God damn it! This is why the replay feature of Madden exists. I don't need to be seeing this after every goddamned play. Of course, visuals aren't the only part of the game. No, we also have to put up with the audio. Dear God, the audio. First, the audio is clipping everywhere. It clips when Chris Collinsworth or Gus Holy Shit I'm lucky to have a career Johnson says anything. The crowd noise clips, the QB noise clips, the shoulder pad hits clip, even the menu music clips. What dumbass audio engineer was responsible for this? Who in the fuck okayed a soundtrack that does nothing but clip? Good God, this is unacceptable. But the audio also includes the announcers. I hate the announcers. I hate Chris Collinsworth. Gus Johnson could have a stroke and still sound as lifeless and soulless as he already is. But personal bias aside, the in-game audio is as bad here as it was on the Super Nintendo. Collinsworth generally speaks in whole sentences, making the audio cuts less intrusive, but he has so few lines in this game that it gets repetitive after the first quarter. Also, has anyone else noticed that in the pregame video, the only thing Collinsworth ever talks about is the quarterback matchup? I've never played a game where the QB matchup wasn't the story on Chris's mind. Now, Gus Johnson. What the hell happened here? The tonal inflections are completely wrong. I mean, completely. There's shit like this. Johnson picks off the ball. Manning gets sacked. And many times the audio lags far behind the events on screen. For example, I returned a punt for a touchdown. While the pickoff audio was on target, the line to the 10-5 touchdown wasn't triggered until after I had crossed into the end zone. I understand it takes a lot of audio recording to get all of the tonal inflections correct, and even then, it's almost impossible to get to the correct tonal inflection for every scenario, but my God, this is bad. I normally turn off the announcers anyway because they suck so hard, but this is bad. This is so bad. So very, very bad. Now, let's talk about the weather. I understand that weather has an impact on how the game is played. That's how it works. But this is insane. When it's raining in Madden 11, it turns from a game of football into something out of the wild world of sports. I've run 16 offensive plays in this game. I have 7 fumbles. And that's with the secure ball button held down. Secure the ball, my ass. I had one play where 4 different players each fumbled the ball. My running back fumbled, the recovering lineman fumbled, my recovering O-lineman fumbled, and finally my QB recovered, then fumbled, resulting in a turnover. But do you remember the difficulty we set this game to? My skill. It's supposedly a new feature of Madden that will allow the game to adjust the difficulty on the fly to give you a realistic challenge without being overpowered. EA did this for one reason. The difficulty curve of Madden does not exist. The game starts you off on Pro Mode, which exists solely to boost the egos of 8-year-olds around the world. The difficulty is pathetic on this mode, and I was able to blow the Jets out of the water 102-7. I don't even want to know how miserably easy this game would be on the easy setting. Then there's the All-Pro level. This is where Madden hits a brick fucking wall, and the difficulty curve goes straight into the air. Unless you're a seasoned Madden vet, going from Pro to All-Pro will completely fuck up your game and make you not want to play. So, instead of actually making Pro Mode challenging and Easy Mode easy, they decided that the best way to bypass the difficult wall is to install an AI-driven My Skill mode. And this thing is broken. So very, very broken. Look, I understand that the Giants aren't the best team in the league, but when I set the game to my skill to match my skill level, I don't expect the Seattle Seahawks, who are using their third-string quarterback in my franchise mode because the other 2 are out on IR, to burn me for 76 points in the game. When you're playing on my skill, the difficulty curve will just barely bounce around to your skill level and then leap way past what you're capable of for several games before coming back down to reality. Do you ever expect the 2010 Lions to beat the Giants 88-17, but then see the Giants beat the Cowboys the next week 14-6? No. You know why? Because the Giants team that gave up 88 points ain't gonna win against Dallas the next week. I also want to talk about the injuries. There are a lot of them in this game. I appreciate the fact that they've tried to statistically simulate how many injuries a player and team will get, but something is wrong here. At one point during a season, I had all 3 of my quarterbacks on the IR. I had to pick up Dante Culpepper off of waivers to continue the season. I had 1 wide receiver on IR. I had my center on IR. Finally, I had my middle linebacker on IR and then quit the season. Unlucky? Bullshit. Half of my team is on IR. That's not unlucky, that's broken. I haven't even talked about how passing is jacked up, like how the quarterback will throw to some receiver other than the one I told him to throw to. While I'm at it, let's also talk about how I can direct a player off the field and through the stadium. There's no bounding box around the field. Great. But no bounding box preventing you from walking completely through the stadium? That's the type of amateur shit I'd expect from big rigs. That's one of the many bugs that were not caught in development. 2 of the biggest uncaught bugs include random freezes and super sim. The game will randomly freeze for no reason. Sometimes it's only a short freeze, but other times it's such a clusterfuck of a freeze that the entire system has to be physically turned off and turned back on. Super Sim has its own set of problems. In fact, it has so many problems, I'm not even going to list them. I'm just going to warn you that if you're epileptic, do not use Super Sim. Ever. All of this crap, and I'm only now getting to my major contention of Madden 11, the in-game advertising. Doritos, the Weather Channel, Gatorade, Verizon, it's everywhere. It's bad enough that every single facet of the game is already monetized. Even renters and used gamers are monetized in some fashion, but the in-game advertisements are so prevalent that they're just downright annoying. It's time to bend over, gamers, because EA is shoving its big black football cock straight up your asses. Not only do you have to pay for Madden coins, some more bullshit you don't even need to worry about. You have to pay $10 extra if you rent or buy used if you want to play online, but you've got to put up with so much in-game advertising that I swear EA could give this game away to every gamer completely free of charge and still make a profit. This is abuse of the NFL license gone completely out of control.